So no luck on the actual other shits, but you know, this is the little causeway here. Faux show always spawns the 2. And I think most of the time the actual disused feign is over here on the causeway. That rare experience shrine. Hot dog. Okay, that's the reliquary. See if the other one is the feign. Boom. Wait, no, that's the ruined feign. I'm pretty sure it's the disused feign. But we'll explore it anyways. We've got the experience shrine buff here, so might as well take advantage of it. Be foolish not to. This is like a perfect formation here. All of my melee guys are in there doing all their damage. I'm just sitting back, just making sure that I've got the amplify damage curse up and running. Pretty good. And then all my mages are in the back row, just slinging their spells. Although what sucks is that even though we got the experience shrine, it doesn't last that long. And I think the reason why is because we're in Nightmare. If I'm not mistaken, the harder difficulties have a shorter time length on the actual, whatchamacallem, shrine buffs. So unfortunately, the disused feign did not spawn here on the causeway, so we're gonna have to come back and do a little bit more exploration. It's not a big deal. Got quite a bit of stat points here all banked up. Not entirely sure what I'm going to do with them yet, because I think I'm pretty good on strength. I don't think I need to max this out anymore. I mean, if anything, I think I probably need to dump a few points into dexterity, depending on the gear that I'm going to need. But energy is fine. I have no reason to dump any points into that. And then I'm pretty much just going to be all life. I've said it before. The vitality stat was going to be our dump stat, which is a-okay squared away with me. And I think I will probably start dumping in my stat points when I actually get to Hell. Or what I'll do is I'll go to Ariat Summit, and I'll start to look up gear combinations and all that, so I can find out what would be the most ideal gear setup for me, and try to actually gun for those items, so I can figure out what I'm going to need stat-wise to actually be able to equip everything. Because I'd really hate to get into one of those positions where, you know, I just dump all my points straight up into vitality, and then I realize that I really need to equip like parts of the Tal Rasha set or something like that, and I need additional dexterity, and I'm already like level 86, and it's going to take me a hell of a long time to gain another level for the stat points. I don't want to do that. It's always a big mistake. That's why I always try to bank my points. You never know when you're actually going to need them. Oh wait. God damn it. We're in the wrong place. Oops. Should have been paying attention to that. Okay, so it's not that one. Son of a bitch. I'm pretty sure that it can only spawn here in Upper Karast, unless I'm wrong. Maybe it has a potential to spawn in the bazaar. No, maybe I should go back to town. I forget who actually gives you the quest. Whether or not it's Hratli or it might be a Shira. The Tiggle Biddies chick with the mercenaries. You know what? Let's actually do that.
Good to see you.
I just want to take a look at the actual like quest text. There we go.
You have done well, Diablo and Bay.
Nope.
Good day.
It's crap. Let's see here. Bad. 11 to life. Okay, can replace that. Oh, what do we got here? +1 to javelin and spear skills. Those are okay. Alright, one of these people actually has the quest. Somebody does.
Greetings.
Maybe Alcor?
It pains me to waste time with...
Excellent. Search the 6 temples in the bazaar, Upper Karast, and the causeway. Okay, so it potentially could be in the actual bazaar. I think we're going to end up having to go back there, because that's... We've already explored everything else. So just out of the process of elimination, let's go back to the bizarre bazaar and find us the... Search the 6 temples. Oh, so it is random. Well, we're already here. We can already see this little pink thing over here. I'm pretty sure that that isn't the, whatchamacallit? The sewers. We'll go over here and investigate. I'm a little bit, quite a bit disappointed in myself. If we came all the way back here to investigate this nonsense for nothing. And it was actually in one of the temples on the causeway, like I originally said. But I swear, it's like most of the time it's usually in the disused vein, so whatever. Whatevs, man. Not a big deal. Oh shit. Out of that big ass stack of out of that big ass stack of enemies. Didn't drop shit. God damn it, get out of there. Boom. Let's get out of dodge.
Good day. Greetings.
That's actually not too bad. Kind of reminds me of one of the paladin shields. I don't know. I guess whenever I get like some of these rares that are actually pretty decent, I always just keep them because I don't really want to make that qualified statement about whether or not I'm going to use it or not, because there's a lot of the rares in this game that are a hell of a lot better than a lot of the trashy uniques.
Hello, you have found the book.
Once the book has served its purpose, I shall delve into its secrets.
So I hate to just actually toss it. That's the point I was trying to make. And what I was saying earlier about being a pack rat, there you go. There's a prime example of that. Alright, so we just need the waypoint and the Travnicol, and then kill off the council members. Get us the flail, and then make the Kalium's flail thingy. And then on to killing Mephisto! The good news about the actual waypoint and the traffic always spawns in the same location. Certainly a big fan of that kind of consistency. Fortunately, my skeletons are taking quite the beating here. Especially my mages. Jesus Christ, they're getting smashed. Alright, let's try to replenish a couple of our mages here first, before we take on the council members. Alright, there we go. Alright, I'm gonna just try to actually kite a couple of these guys out at one time, just to make it a little easier. Or what might be actually the best course of action is to get rid of some of these other secondary enemies first, so that way my skeletal army can actually concentrate on the council members themselves instead of dicking around with all this other bullshit. Come on. Yeah, now my entire skeletal army here is, of course, completely poisoned, which means that they're just gonna die. Surprisingly not, they actually lived, which is pretty good. So I did hear a charm drop. Let's go get our charm. Yeah, totally, man. You know what sucks about it? What sucks about finding a cruel Colossus blade, a quickness, is that Blizzard took away the recipe, the 3-chip gem recipe. Or maybe I misspoke. They didn't actually take it away. It's still there, but the problem with it is that they nerfed it. It used to be that you just had the weapon of the magical weapon of in question in your cube with the 3-chip gems, and then it would re-roll the affixes for it, right? Well, they changed it. They nerfed it to where you can only get item level 30 affixes on it. So you can't get the cruel affix or prefix. Actually, I don't even know if... I think Quickness might be a top tier or mid tier. I don't remember. But it's definitely not item level 30.
Once ridding Kur.
So basically, if you want to find a cruel Colossus blade of Quickness, you have to just straight up find one out in the wild. You can't actually craft it anymore.
Good evening.
So that's what I'm hoping for. I know it's probably wishful thinking at its worst, but, you know, what the hell. It's a good excuse to play some Diablo 2. Besides, all these, like, new players these days, with all the rune words, like, everybody's always about the enigmas and their Breath of the Dying and all the rest of that bullshit. I'm just like, no, fuck that. We're gonna go old school. The old school weapons were the shit. Alright, let's proceed. Let's go and do the nasty on Mephisto here. Just need to get the waypoint in the endurance level 2, that is. Wasn't I supposed to actually have the soul stone? No, you get the soul stone. That's right. What am I thinking?
I can't.
That's right. Mephisto gives you the soul stone. All little bugged out here. I mean, it's not entirely impossible. It's just highly unlikely. Like, I have no doubt that I'll probably find, like, a Cruel Colossus blade or a Cruel Colossus sword, but it won't have the Quickness suffix, or it just won't have any sockets. Or I'll find it with the Quickness, but not Cruel. I have no doubt in my mind I'm gonna find something like that, or it's gonna be like Ethereal. That'll suck. But say finding a Cruel Colossus sword that actually has Quickness on it is going to be pretty rare. Finding a Cruel Colossus sword or blade of Quickness with open sockets that isn't Ethereal, we're just gonna keep our fingers crossed. And it's gonna be one of those funny things too. I'm gonna get like completely hammered in place of Diablo 2, and I'm just gonna be fucking around sometime, and then I'm just gonna get one just randomly out of nowhere. That's usually the way my luck works. It's gonna be like one of those times where you absolutely positively shouldn't be playing your hardcore Diablo 2 campaign, but you say screw it and do it anyways, because it's like the good bad choice. Alright, well this fool down here has stone skin, so I'm not gonna dick around with him too long. We're about to gain another level here and hit 52, which is really good. Allow me to put a point into summon resist, so my skeletons aren't getting annihilated from poison once again. I'm already gonna have to replace a lot of these guys, because you know they're gonna get crushed. Let's see here. Summon and resist. There we go. You know, to be very honest, I think it's one of those skills that you just can't avoid if you're doing this build. You're just gonna have to, because eventually all of your summon dudes, all of your minions and things are gonna die easily. And then you're gonna keep making skeletons and whatnot, and eventually you're gonna run out of corpses, and then you're just gonna be screwed. Want some longevity with our minions. Flawless Diamond here. So normally I would take a break right around now because we are sitting at about at the hour mark, slightly over it. But like I said earlier about playing until we're done with Act 3, I think I'm just gonna cruise on to the end here without taking the break. I think that's probably the best course of action right now. Wouldn't really make sense for me to, you know, go take a quick breather and then 10 minutes later I end my stream. Seems kind of stupid to me. Nope. Oh. Been definitely giving it a lot of thought about what my next series are going to be. My regular Let's Play series is my non-live streamed ones, that is. And I'm kind of torn. I'm not really entirely sure what I want to play next. I know I talk about that fairly often. About what I might want to play next. And I'm just kind of tied. I have said something about the Battle for Middle-earth games. And that is definitely a possibility. And I've also had a couple of viewers that really want me to play an actual, like, real campaign in EU4. And I've definitely given that some thought. I'm not going to do that now. That is something I will faux show definitely do in the future. But right now, since I have back-to-back EU4 campaigns, there's just no way in hell I'm going to add a third one on top of that. Make it incredibly redundant. Not about to do that. So I'm not sure. I haven't really heard too many suggestions about what people may or may not want me to play or want to see me play. You know, to be quite honest, I actually been really motivated to learn to play the first Crusader Kings, which is technically Crusader Kings Complete because it comes with the Deus Vault expansion. And for whatever reason, I can't get the actual Steam version to play. I actually had to buy the game twice. I had to buy it once. Bought it first on Steam originally, and I tried all the fixes, but I couldn't get it to work. And then I bought the version that's on GOG, on Good Old Games, and the fixes worked on that version, so I could actually play the game. And the other thing is that I have that Game of Thrones mod for it, which always looked pretty fun and interesting. And I thought, like, eventually in time that would actually be a really good game to play. It's one of those games, too, that unfortunately there's just not a lot of content out there for it. Like, if you guys go and take a look for yourself and just go on YouTube, here on YouTube, and search out Crusader Kings 1 or Crusader Kings Complete and look up, there's only like a couple of series on it. And most of the people that do it, there's like one guy that actually does a really good series, but it's all in German. The other ones are all in English, but they are garbage. You got some, I think there's one where it's like the English Barry White, where he's like, I'm gonna rape your ear hole while we play some Crusader Kings Complete. Don't mind me as we play Crusader Kings, because I'm gonna finger your bumhole. It's like one of those types of people. Really creepy. And then you get the other guy that's trying to make a fucking Let's Play series on his like his built-in laptop microphone, and it just sounds and looks like absolute trash. Yeah. So there, needless to say, there's just not enough, or there's just first of all, not enough, and the content that is out there for the game is just, it's awful. And I definitely think that I could make a Crusader Kings 1 campaign that's enjoyable to watch. At least, in my opinion, it should be enjoyable to watch. I mean, I guess that really depends on whether or not you actually like watching my material or not, but in terms of quality, I know I could do a hell of a better job. So that's definitely in the pipes somewhere. I'm not entirely sure when I would do that, because I have played like 3 different Crusader Kings 2 campaigns already, and to throw Crusader Kings 1 on it, just, I don't know, I feel like I just got too much Crusader Kings in general, and then I've got just too much Paradox games. I originally said in my like introduction video, one of the very first videos that I made, that I didn't really want to like just do one company's games or like one or 2 types of games. You know, there's a couple of YouTubers out there, a couple of Let's Players that actually do exactly that. They pretty much focus on one game, or they focus on one company's game. Like there's one guy that I watch that pretty much all he does is like Total War games. And, you know, while I can respect that, I don't want to be that way. I don't want to just do Paradox games. Oh, nice. Another experience, right? And I've already done so many Paradox games already. Or I shouldn't say Paradox games. I've already done a lot of Paradox campaigns. Campaigns with Paradox games in them. So that's kind of like my long-winded answer of why I'm really reluctant to actually do a series on, say, Crusader Kings 1 in the near future. I want to try something else. Like, I'd like to do another strategy game, but I just haven't really worked out what. I mean, I did say the Battle for Middle-earth games. I mean, those are definitely RTSs. And they're another one of those games where there's just not really a lot of content out there. There's like a couple of guys that have done some pretty good quality, like, multiplayer videos, but not like really the campaigns. Especially for Battle for Middle-earth 1. Battle for Middle-earth 2 definitely got more love in terms of, you know, quality Let's Play series or whatever. Or at least just content on YouTube. I do have to say, though, up front, I'm really not that big of a fan of a lot of, like, real-time strategy games. And when I say real-time strategy games, I mean like RTSs in the traditional sense, like, you know, like Age of Empires, Command & Conquer, Warcraft, you know, shit like that. And while Battle for Middle-earth isn't explicitly like that, it's close enough to it. So that's one of my reluctances for actually playing it. I guess you could say that's probably the only reluctance I have for playing that game. I mean, I have it, and I have like a couple like HD mods for it that made the game look a hell of a lot better. And I've already tested it. It works pretty flawlessly too. So I have like no like technical problems. They're just personal problems. All right, now that we actually have the last waypoint here for Act 3, let's go back to town and heal and put away all of our trash here.
Greetings.
Let's see, what is this? 18? God, that's terrible. I mean, I guess I'll keep it. Because I don't really have too many magic find amulets at the moment. I remember a long time ago, back in like 2002, 2003, these were actually worth quite a bit. These, the run walk charms. I don't think they're worth anything anymore. I think. Unless I'm sadly mistaken or something. Especially if they have the second affix on them. I remember seeing that it was like an actual barbarian build out there that maxed out the run walk speed. You know, get it to the point where you're actually maxing out the actual game's frames per second that it can run. It was crazy. I mean, I really hate to make that statement. You know, you just don't see shit like that anymore in Diablo 2. I mean, obviously, the game is so old. The game's like, what, 18 years old? I don't remember when the Lord of Destruction expansion came out, if that came out in 2001. I think it did. So the expansion itself is 17 years old. I mean, there's still a decent amount of people that play this game, but of the people that play this game, like, most of them are just... I don't know. Most of the people aren't thinking about, like, those old school experimental builds and whatnot. Well, I think most people are, you know, sticking with, like, the tried and true rune words, and some of the other people are playing, like, some of the other mods. I think there was, like, the one thing was that the Path of Diablo, which was, like, this big mod for Diablo 2 that introduces, like, some Path of Exile, like, mechanics to the game. I know there's quite a few people that play Path of Exile that when it's not in one of those what is it, what's the word I'm thinking of, like one of the not seasons, or tournaments, the oh shit, I just had the word in my mind, or right in the tip of my mind. So when Path of Exile, they run like these like special, whatchamacallem, not seasons, campaigns or whatever, right? And when the big ones end, usually a lot of people come over from Path of Exile to play Diablo 2 for a little while. Kind of like in the meantime, or right before a major expansion drops. Although I have noticed that there are people that just generally get bored of playing Path of Exile, that are really wanting to explore the better game, which is this. So then they come over and start playing Diablo 2 for the first time. Out of all the people that are playing Diablo 2 these days, I'm really wondering how many of these people are actually some of the original Diablo 2 veterans like myself. Or how many of them are just like straight up new people. And I'm not saying that like disparagingly, I'm just generally curious. Oh. I honestly didn't think how long I was going to be streaming for, but I do have to say, all this commentary is definitely making me thirsty. Guess I'm just going to have to suck it up and just deal with it until we're done. This is fine. Not a big deal, because we're almost there. Just looking for the way down here, and then we'll do our thing with Mephisto and the few council members that are down there with him. Although I suppose if I spend enough time here, there's the possibility that I might actually gain another level before I even make it to Mephisto. It'd be kind of funny. God, we got like one of these extra long versions of the Endurance of Hate level 2 here. Or we're just gonna have to go through the entire floor pan of the dungeon just to find our way. Come on, Jesus Christ, man. The game is just telling me, Magicide, we don't want you to go. Please stay and play me. I'm gonna waste your time. So something's telling me that I'm gonna end up having to go all the way the fucking around to find the goddamn staircase. I feel like I'm being trolled right now. You know, maybe I wouldn't bitch so much about actually having to be down here. I mean, exploring the entire ridiculous... Look at this. Like, the Endurance of Hate level 2 is never this large. This is asinine. Anyways, as I was saying, you know, I guess I really wouldn't mind if it was worth my while, you know? I mean, besides gaining the experience, if I actually got some unique drops here, like some decent drops would be pretty dead sexy. Oh, please. Do we find the way down? Is it over here? I don't think it's over here. Nope. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, we have to take the long way back up and around. Because of course we do. And I swear to God, man, the size of this place and the amount of monsters that we've already killed, I'm really surprised that we haven't gained another level. Like, we're right in the ballpark of actually doing it. Kinda, sort of. shit. Probably should be paying attention to my skeletons here. Did lose a few of them. Plus my, my trashy golem. That was something I was actually debating upon, you know, as far as this build goes and the allocation of skill points, was whether or not I should throw a couple of points into golem mastery, just to make sure that my golem wasn't just a walking piece of shit that just crumbles the mere sight of like an upper tier enemy. But I don't think I'm going to do that. I mean, I'm predominantly just using it as cannon fodder, so it kind of makes sense to actually keep it as is. I'm really out of position here. This is a terrible position to find myself in. You know what, but we're not going to stand around. Alright, so I have no choice but to actually go back up here. Oh, come on, where is the fucking staircase? Jesus. Look at this. Look at the size of this place. Look at this place. I don't think I've ever seen it this large. It's ridiculous. Whatever. I mean, we're finally in level 3. I was going to say floor 3. B3, as in basement 3. Strictly speaking, that isn't exactly correct. Alright, let's go kill us some council people. They're all up there. Alright, well, I'm gonna swing back around and have to kill them at a later point in time, unless they, of course, they follow me over here. That was a really pretty good indicator about how my skeletons were going to do. Because of all this fire damage and whatnot, I was afraid that they were actually going to get creamed, but they actually did pretty well. Okay, well, that really sucks that we've got these bloodlords over here. Because they're just going to continue to do a bunch of damage and get in the way. Let's have our portal up and running just in case. Yeah, my skeletons are actually doing a pretty decent job. You don't want to stand still when you're fighting Mephisto if you don't know this, but every once in a while you'll see that like little ghost thing that pops up. And it does blast you. And it does actually do some pretty decent damage, so that's why you don't ever want to just stand around here. Because otherwise you will get blasted. Well, my skeletons are getting crushed here because of the poison. Looks like my peon here needs a little bit of help. Come on, die, damn it. Looks like we got a bunch of rares, including a rare jewel here.
Good journey, Mephisto. Give my regards to the Abyss.
Well, let's go back to town. Of course.
Our faith. Greetings.
And identify all of our stuff. Save our skeletons.
Yes.
So what do we got here? Garbage. Garbage. That's terrible. That's awful. Actually, I'll keep it. You know what? For like garbage, low-level items, I mean, it's level 29 requirement. I don't think I'm gonna end up actually really using it. But I hate throwing away shit like that. You just never know. Alright, let's go pick up the rest of our stuff here. Which is what, the soul stone itself and the large axe. And I want to go and kill the other council guys. Councilmen. Keys, keys, money, money, money. Need some scrolls. Oh, we'll take two. Get us some additional skeletons here. Bunch of these guys down here. But unfortunately, again, they're not really dropping anything of interest. Although I probably need that super healing potion here. Mercenary's getting crushed. Don't die. Oh, look at that. It's the whatchamacallem. What the hell do you call that? The Arcanum thingy. Yeah, the Arcanum set. Right? Something like that.
Hello.
Yep. Arcanas. Arcana's flesh.
Good day.
You know, truth be told, that actual... The one weapon that I just sold was actually... okay. I mean, it's got a level requirement of 22. Not that good, but... it's aight. But I don't want it. Alright, let's go back down there, collect the rest of our stuff, and the giant pilum. And I think that was all of the... oh, yeah. So I was right. We still had a couple of council members here to slog our way through. It doesn't look like they're actually going to give us anything. Very disappointing. So let's head on to Act 4 here, and I think that's where I will call it a day. Alrighty, folks. Thank you very much for joining me. It's been a pleasure. I don't know the next time I'm going to actually be live streaming some more D2. I guess it's just going to be kind of whenever I feel like it. And I don't know. Next time I'm really going to feel like it. You know, I really need to get actually caught up on my XCOM 2 series. Been really suffering in that campaign's department. But as far as the next time we're going to do this, I don't know. I think I should have some definite free time coming up, maybe over the weekend, but definitely next week sometime. So, I don't know. Just stay tuned in, and I'm sure we will see one another again. So, take care, and have yourselves a good one.